Welcome to a new test and teardown video. I also think this is gonna go and be a little bit of a repair cleanup video. I got two of those Siemens AC Wattmeters, B4305, and they will do one phase AC up to 20 amps. So we've got three different amp ranges, 2, 6 and 20, and in each of the ranges we can measure the phase, watts, amps, and of course voltage. The fun thing about this is this auto range, 200 or 750. So what's the point if it can do auto? You know, why can it? So this is because you want to lock it to 200? I don't understand that. What is the point in that? I've been opening them both, and I find a little funny thing. Got those little plastic covers down here, so there's probably some sort of an upgrade module or something you can plug in here. What is that? Don't know yet. And that will be the specifications of the different ranges. Okay, 4 kilowatts. Interesting. Or 15, depending on voltage, obviously, right? What is that? Is the... Anyway, as always, problems with people forgetting batteries in old stuff. As you can see here, we got leakage, corrosion all over the place. See, it's yelling and screaming for a deep cleanup. I hope it's not inside the rest of the unit. Oh, look at that, all blue, green, and all the colors of goodness you can imagine. The fun thing is this one is much more blue. Probably some other cells from another manufacturer. And inside this one, it was still very wet. It's typical, some of those acids, they just don't dry out or evaporate. It's just, they just stay wet and gross. And where's the other lid? It's just some little powder acid. So yeah, my first idea is to see if I can figure out how to open this. How is that done? Hidden screws and goody things. Well. Ah, look at that. So it's from the front. This got to be the trick, right? So after removing the front, well, that let me clean up the display and all that kind of stuff, and clean up that switch. I still have no access. Ooh, better remember how this was. So that one just lifts up like that. Okay, all the way to the left. I'll be able to remember that. But still haven't figured out how to open it. And what I did actually find is, look at that. That one there. We've got two of those here at the front, and two more at the back. Yes, I think that is it. Yeah, we are in. I actually managed to open it without causing too much pain or damage to this plastic. Only a little mark up here. So that's the 2 wires for the battery power input. So we got this geprüft, that means tested. So it's also the PCB is also tested. And the rest of this unit looks like it's really, really nice and beautiful. I only see a little bit down here. This kind of blue stuff down there is probably some acid damage maybe. But the rest of it looks quite alright. Only a tiny bit of blue here. They didn't coat the PCB, and that is of course a little bit of a shame. So that will be the current transformer with all this ratio that gives us the current readings. What is that? We've got some op amps and stuff. A lot of CMOS, and that will probably be op amps and op amps and op amps. Just some counters and stuff for the display. That's not a lot of. Oh yeah, there's maybe another PCB. That's probably just the connection to the display. I can't see any connections down to anything else but this and that. So I guess there will be another PCB. Let me see how I can get this out. How's that done? So all I did was to lift up this entire unit from the front plastic, and look at that. Let me get some light on here. Wow, man. So we've got 2 PCBs and all those components. Really? So it's from 85, 86. So this unit is from 86. That is the highest I can find. Oh, that is beautiful. I did not expect to find that many components. It's just really, really packed. That's probably a temperature sensor. The crystal, and there is the big 40 pin in here. That's the LCD readout chip, and there's a little crystal for that one as well. Wow, that much electronics, did you imagine? And all that this does is to multiply voltage and current and the phase correction and all that kind of stuff is done in here, so it knows exactly the real watts. So all that stuff is done in hardware, I suppose. Why are we having all those parts and a nice shielded? So there's a shield here in the middle, but I'm super happy we didn't see any corrosion or anything bad in here. So what I will do now is I will desolder the battery wires, and then I will disassemble the entire battery compartment and clean it up. But first, of course, I can put in 2 new wires here and try to power this up and see if it's live before I spend too much time on the battery repair. So this thing is up and running. We had 6 cells, so that's 9 volts, and I just soldered a red and a black wire to the plus and minus and powered it up, and yes, it is definitely alive. I think it's a little bit amazing with all those ICs. As you can see here, a lot of electronics, right? And then all this here, there's really a lot of parts. This whole thing is using only 2 milliamps. That is crazy. That is a little bit amazing. I am impressed, I must say. And the switch here is kind of good. So that's the amps, and that's the phase, and the volts, and all that kind of stuff. So I think it really works. But so far, what I will do now is I will assemble this again. I'm still cleaning up the rest of the plastic. Is in the dishwasher, to be honest. so I have to wait with that, but I can still put it in this one. All this corrosion and stuff is getting nicely cleaned. So after a super nice deep clean of the back cover, look how nice and clean it is. All I wanted to do is now add some varnish around here, so it's gonna go down and make everything nice and tight. So when there's a leak in the future, we're not going to have a problem. But I think I'm gonna go and assemble this one and then perform some tests. So I just tried the other one, and that one reads a little bit too low, but this one reads absolutely nice. And let's try the auto voltage range. And then I'll crank down the... Oh, that one is probably a problem. Let's crank down the voltage a little bit and see what happens. Oh yeah, look what happened. Now I go up again, so that is the 200, and then it goes over. But there's a big hysteresis on the range selector, so it goes down to 100 and... Yes, exactly. 170, and then it goes back. Alright, so this is how the auto range kind of work. Let's crank it back to 230. Like that. And of course I didn't plug in anything into the current setting. So no phase, no watts, no amps. So far so good. Let me try and see what happens. So let's try and do this test. Look what I found. Whoa, a nice old filament bulb. 60 watts, and I think I did this right. So my voltage is coming into voltage, then I hook it up to the current, and then current is connected here, right? So if I'm not completely mistaken, when I turn this on, yes, we got all the light. So that is amps, and it says 0.268, and that is also more or less what my fancy meter says here. It says 61.8 watts. Let's see if this is true. 62.5, so that is very close. And it says inductive. And of course this should be 0.1. No, should be 1.00, right? Because this is a bulb. And then my watts, my volts. So yeah, I definitely think this unit works. Happy me. Let's try an LED. So that is one of those fancy LEDs, actually the one with 3 different intensities. So I think if I turn this on, it goes to the lowest, and then the phase 0.2. And watts is 2.1. I measure 1.9 watts with the other one. So if I turn it off and on real fast, see, it's going to go much more bright. So that is 7 watts, 7.5, and here it says 7.7. And here's the phase, and it still say inductive. Interesting. Maybe I am connecting this wrong. I would expect this to be capacitive. I mean, I look into a rectifier, right? Rectifier and capacitor. So I think I'm wiring this wrong. So probably current should be after voltage or something like that, right? But I don't have the manual to this unit. So that is why I am saying that I feel this is wrong. But anyway, it's definitely working, and I think I'm not going to say so much more about this unit. So thank you very much for watching, and please come again tomorrow. Bye bye.